All right, so Twitter user Cybertruck Nuts posted this. Pretend it's a rendering video of the Cybertruck being used as a boat.
But here's the funny thing. Elon said, I think we could make that work.
So, time to put our translation hats on and figure out what the heck Elon means by this. So
I think he is pretty clear. It means a Cybertruck boat.
Right. So we know that the Cybertruck is going to be made out of stainless steel.
Yes.
Which is good because that means it won't rust.
Right.
And I know that there's some people who have had experiences with stainless steel things that have rusted. There are different grades of stainless steel. There are different types of stainless steel.
Right. Like 304 stainless steel will eventually rust, especially if there's enough like salt water.
Right. But
like 316 won't.
I would also like to point out, what are most boats made out of?
Steel.
They're made out of regular old rusty steel
that you paint,
and we still have them.
Right.
So a stainless steel vessel is not the worst idea in the world.
But Jesse, this is going to have batteries, and if batteries get wet, all sorts of bad things happen.
Right. Now we have seen some videos of like Model S's and Model 3s and Model X's going through some big puddles.
Right.
That definitely not on the open seas, but definitely some big puddles, and have been able to, they don't like stop working or start electrocuting everybody. Tesla has done a really good job at waterproofing, but obviously that is completely different than when we're talking about a vessel of the sea.
But does Elon mean that he's already there with this, or does it mean that he's going to go back to the engineers and be like, guess what, guys? Sorry to put this on your plate, but in addition to making it awesome in every other way, it's got to be a boat.
Right. I don't quite know. I think that there would have had to have been some intention beforehand. But keep in mind that Elon has always kind of, he's been somewhere between Q from James Bond and like Batman from Batman, where he's like, I want cool stuff. So, I mean, he bought that James Bond submersible car.
Right.
So we know that that's like something that he's thought about.
Oh, he's definitely thought about it.
Probably a lot, because he plopped down quite a chunk of change to buy that car. So I'm feeling like this could be a potential thing. Now let's just talk about it for a second. This clip of this Cybertruck in water riding a little low.
Yeah, I wouldn't want my Cybertruck riding that low, because if any additional water got in the rear, it would probably sink.
Right. I don't think that it's going to ride that low.
The other thing I want to point out is I think that if this is true, that if they can make this into a cyber boat, that the midgate would have to fold down, because otherwise you'd have no access to the driving compartment.
True. So, I mean, it's strong evidence for a midgate, or it would mean that you would have to full self-drive it into the water.
Oh, I didn't think about that. You could just full self-drive it.
Right. But if this were a thing, if you could
I'm getting excited.
if you could take your Cybertruck, drive it to a body of water,
Game changer.
drive it into the body of water,
Game changer.
spend a day out on the lake.
Do you know how much more I'd pay for that?
Because let's just think about this. People who buy boats generally are not in their boats most of the times, unless you're a pirate or you live in a boat.
The reason why I would hesitate from getting a boat is because I know I would probably only use it 2 times a year.
They say, a man who buys a boat, the happiest day is the day that he bought it and the day that he sold it, right?
Right.
So that's kind of like the boating meta,
right.
Is that it sucks to own a boat,
right.
Unless you're a pirate.
Better to have a best friend with a boat. But if you had a cyber boat, here's the thing. Normally, you got to store that boat. Like next to your driveway, there's a big covered up thing with a boat, and
right.
your significant other is like, "When are you gonna take your boat out?
Right. Or when are you gonna get rid of it?
I gotta clean it,
right? And maintain it, and
gotta
do all that
insure
work. And it's a lot of work to own a boat. And let's be honest, the benefits of owning a boat have been steadily declining as new technologies arose. Like
right.
back in the 1700s, pretty cool. You own a boat. You can go almost anywhere. But now, today, you're like, I can go almost anywhere. And everyone's like, yeah, or I could just like fly there, weirdo. Like,
how often would you and I be out on the Cybertruck boat if it was
exactly.
a boat?
There's no like.
Forget the show. We'd be there right now fishing.
Now, if you're like, Zach and Jesse, I think this is definitely going to happen. Or if you think it's definitely not going to happen, we're putting up a poll on Patreon that'll be coming out today. So if you have some strong opinions, please let your strong opinions be heard.
Also, head over to Cybertruck Owners Club because they have a fantastic reservation tracker there, and there's a great community where you guys can start talking about Cybertruck boat. I mean, just start a new thread. I'm sure it's already there.
Right.
It's really tough living in this world full of bad news.
Why not share this with your friends and family to cheer them up and give them hope?
Sharing this clip is easy. That's why we made them. Short and to the point. Just hit the share button below, copy the link into your emails or social media posts, and thanks.
Now you know.